Well, good morning and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Tom Barfield Show. So happy to have you with us. We are presented by Gary Hoffman and the guys over at Toe King, a family-owned and operated business providing a 24-hour service of roadside assistance if you need it. And we'll give you more details on that coming up a little later on. Glad to have you with us. Got a busy show today. On the program, we're going to talk with Brice Cherry from the Waco Tribune-Herald and Temple College head baseball coach and athletic director Craig McMurtry is going to join us on the program as well. We'll also talk a little MLB baseball with him because he had a heck of a career with the Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros, and the Texas Rangers. So we'll talk to him about his career and dive into some things with Major League Baseball, and then talk also college athletics as he's the Lark Smith is alongside. Lark, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing just great, Tom. It's Tuesday, and we're still here.
Yeah, so you mentioned to me, and it's a great question, how many people at the collegiate level are actually coaching / athletic director? It happens all the time at the high school level.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, not always, but most of the time, it's the head football coach / athletic director.
Yeah, especially at the lower levels.
Yes, correct.
But
and they're getting away from that at the high school level.
Yes,
very much
are.
So.
Yeah, very much so, because they're having to deal with Title IX and things of that nature. And not feel like they're getting slighted from one sport to another. So,
and it's difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about this. In the summertime, when they're trying to, right before school starts, and they're going through what we used to call two-a-days, summer workouts, whatever.
Yeah.
You have the cross-country teams, boys and girls, and you have volleyball going on.
Mm-hmm.
So as the athletic director, how do you and head football coach, man, that's a handful trying to oversee those three sports. Now, you're not involved with them day to day, but you oversee those sports,
right?
And then you oversee your coaching staff, and you run the football practices. That's a bit much. And so they've elected in a lot of cases to hire a separate athletic director, or in some cases like Terry Garrick out at Conley, he's gonna be the athletic director. And they've hired a new football coach.
Right.
So there's a million ways to do it. But back to the original thought. Boy, there goes a bird. Back to the original thought. Squirrel. Yeah. Back to the original thought. How many coaches at the collegiate level are also athletic directors? And I bet that number is minimal.
It is minimal, and especially baseball coaches as the athletic director,
correct,
which is what Craig McMurtry does at Temple. Usually it's the football coach. At Grayson, it's the softball coach. McLennan, though, has a separate athletic director.
Sean Trocum.
Yeah, so does Ranger. They just recently put Scott Norwood, their former baseball coach. He is now the athletic director.
Good for Scott.
Yeah, so it's a changing dynamic at the junior college level. I think it's been that way pretty much forever. It seems like forever at the D1 level. I mean, Grant Taft wanted to be the athletic director / football coach at Baylor near the end of his football coaching career, and Baylor would not let him do that.
I think it would have been incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the president at the time was saying, is that, there's just – we got Title IX to deal with. There's too much jealousy from the programs. If the football coach is doing things for the football team and not for the softball team, or is it just we're just going to do away with all that jealousy, and we're just going to keep it separate. And I think that's probably the right way to go.
All right. I know you were doing baseball yesterday, McLennan baseball. So did you get to see any of the Elite Eight on the women's side, or did you get to see any of the national baseball telecasts on Fox?
I did not see any of that per se, as far as watching it, intently after the baseball game where McLennan beat Tyler 11-10 and with a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Wow.
I went to get something to eat at George's, and of course the games were on up in the background somewhere. I got to, I looked up, and the Texas women were annihilating whoever they were playing.
Oh my goodness gracious, Lark! From the time they got off the bus, they were getting after Michigan. I mean, they got. You're like, wow, and I think one of the commentators actually said Texas is playing the best basketball of anybody in the country right now.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
77-41 the final.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that close.
No, it wasn't.
I was wondering if they were going to get to 30. They were
Yeah.
sitting on 29 for a long time, and I was wondering if they were going to get to 30.
Yeah.
And then South Carolina and TCU.
Mm-hmm.
TCU fought like crazy. They're a terrific team, by the way.
Yeah.
But when it got to the fourth quarter, South Carolina hit another gear, and they ran away with it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I find it somewhat amusing that the Final Four on the women's side is all number one seeds. I've always said that the women's basketball tournament is the easier one to predict, simply because there's just it's more than a handful, but there's not that many colleges that focus on women's basketball, like about anywhere from 15 to 20.
It's
schools.
growing.
It is growing. It is growing.
They're starting to see that as a potential revenue stream. That's why.
But you can count on UConn, Texas, LSU, South Carolina, UCLA always being there.
Yeah. Well, to your point, if in my mind, you're going to see Texas play South Carolina for the national championship.
Highly probable.
And that's going to be an all SEC final.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But yeah, it was Texas was good last night, man. I'm telling you, they were really, really good. And they just never they stifled Michigan. They never let them breathe. They were, I mean, I know they scored 70-something points, but they were terrific on the defensive end of the floor. Yeah. Terrific. So
and then on one of the other TVs was the Ranger game in Baltimore. I saw they were up to 4-2.
First place. They're in first place. Go Rangers, first place.
Yeah, we're already counting down the games to the World Series.
When the playoffs begin.
Yeah.
When do the playoffs begin for the Rangers?
Yeah.
Astros won yesterday. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, this was the coolest thing. The national television game last night for Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I got a cramp from flipping around. You can't hardly flip around anymore because
you got to go to different platforms.
Yeah, you're going to different platforms. But I was watching Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And you're saying, why are you watching Pittsburgh and Cincinnati? Well, two reasons. Number one, it's baseball.
Yeah.
Number two, Braxton Ashcraft was on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Former Robinson Rocket.
And they were talking about his football career at Robinson. They said this, they were talking about what a great athlete he was. I think it was his junior year. I did the games.
Yeah.
It was his junior year. He caught 37 touchdown passes his junior year as a Robinson Rocket. They went deep in the playoffs. And I'm telling you, they would score 50 or 60 at Robinson every Friday night. Give up 45 or 50, but they would, it was Wild Wild West. It was a shootout. But and I think it was Chase Allison, Coach Tommy Allison's son, that was flinging those touchdowns to him.
Yeah. That's when Tommy Allison had that wide open offense.
Oh, they would go now.
Yeah.
He had a saying, we look for grass. We look for grass, because they're trying to find that open spot,
Yeah.
And they would get the football to Ashcraft, and sometimes Chase would just throw it up and Braxton would go get it. But last night, he was terrific. Got no support. None. 0. Nil. He got beat 2-0 last night. He went 6 innings. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on just 4 hits, and did not win the ball game.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, he was good. He had a great off-speed pitch, great breaking ball, and his fastball was 96, 97, something like that. Yeah. So it was good.
Well, as Ron Washington says, that's how baseball goes.
That's exactly right. All right, we are off and running. Good start to the show. Glad to have you with us. Today we are brought to you in part by our good friends Mark and Sally over at Morrison's Gifts. Morrison's Gifts is Waco's oldest owned gift store, and they're at 4312 West Waco Drive. That's in the Brazos Square Shopping Center. That's right down from Jason's Deli. Guys, as you get closer to Mother's Day and those type of things, anniversaries, all those type of things, you want to go buy Morrison's Gifts, and they're going to help you. I mean, you don't want to shop. None of us do. We just want to go buy something and get it wrapped and get going. Well, that's what you can do with Sally and her team at Morrison's Gifts. They got all kinds of great ideas for you, gift ideas, and they'll take great care of you. 4312 West Waco Drive. It's Morrison's Gifts. Stay with us. When we come back, we talk sports, and we do it with the sports editor of the Waco Tribune-Herald, our good friend Brice Cherry. That's next. Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
Hey, if you want to help take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive, then you need to check out Waco Body Men Company. Thanks to Todd Behringer and Thomas Wenzel and the team down at Waco Body Men. They're right off of Mary Street. They're actually on Mary Street. You need to go by and check it out. It's a great facility. I think it's about 7,000 square feet, and they do some wonderful things there. You can check it out at wacobodymen.com. wacobodymen.com. Give them a call and set up a tour. Thomas will take you through a tour at Waco Body Men. Again, that's wacobodymen.com. We welcome into the program from the Waco Tribune-Herald, Brice Cherry. Brice, good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Doing terrific. Appreciate it. I thought about you Saturday night as I sat behind home plate watching the Astros game.
I saw that you were there. I was jealous.
It was good, pretty good seats there, buddy. Pretty good seats.
Yeah, not bad. Not too shabby. Yeah, they got off to a kind of a rough start, and then they've since turned it around. My daughter had some dress-up day at Midway today, and she came in and she went into my closet and got out an Altuve jersey, and she said, "Can I wear this today?" And I said, "Well, he had 2 home runs yesterday, so yeah, you can wear it." Yeah, it's nice when they finally start hitting the ball. I think Jordan is going to be a huge key for them this year, just because obviously, they were without him pretty much the whole season last year, and he makes a significant difference.
No question. And again, they're chasing the Rangers, which is no big surprise. Sorry.
Funny. It's early.
Rick and I are already making playoff plans. I mean,
Oh, wow. Okay.
great seats still available right now.
I love it.
Let's talk about the NCAA basketball tournament. We'll start with the men's side. We call it March Madness, and all you got to do is go back and watch UConn in the way that they come from behind by 19 points, and then the guy shooting it from the parking lot for the win. That's March Madness, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. What a finish. It was absolutely incredible. You got to feel for Caden Boozer. I thought he really stood there and kind of answered some questions after that game and took a lot on himself. We know that in a game that comes down to one shot, it really doesn't come down to one play. I mean, there's a million plays all along the way. And so you got to feel for Caden Boozer from Duke. But he, it was an ill-advised pass that he attempted to make, and UConn got a piece of it. And then you get a logo 3 for the win. I mean, it was just ridiculous. That was why we love March, those kind of finishes. And I tell you, UConn's on kind of a pretty nice heater right now. I mean, if they go on and win 2 more games, which I'm not predicting that. I'm still sticking with my pick, which was Arizona. But obviously that would be 3 titles in 4 seasons for Danny Hurley and his program. So I saw a little video of like behind the scenes with UConn's practice with Danny Hurley. I think they had to bleep it out more than they did like Wolf of Wall Street, on cable. Danny Hurley, I don't know if you saw the clip of his mother reacting to the UConn shot, but basically her reaction was holy bleeping bleep. So I'm like, okay, well, that's where he got it from mama.
What are your thoughts on the Final Four?
I think it's a great one. I mean, I vote in the AP top 25 basketball poll for the men, and Arizona, Michigan, UConn are teams I had up there in the top 5 to 6 teams in the country all season long. So I think they have, lived up to their billing. Arizona and Michigan, I think, are on a different plane than everybody else. I mean, those two are playing really, really well. I could see either one winning it. Like I said, I picked Arizona, but it would not stun me to see Michigan win. It would kind of stun me to see UConn or Illinois win, but that's why they play the games. Illinois, kind of a nice story. I mean, obviously a high seed, but I don't know that a lot of brackets had the Illini in the Final Four. And truth be told, I kind of thought the Big Ten was overrated this season. And then they went out in March and proved, no, that ain't the case. I mean, they had a really nice March and have, half of the Final Four.
Over on the women's side, Brice, last night, Texas was just a machine. I mean, an absolute machine. And I thought, and I told this, I said this to Lark earlier. Yeah, they scored 70-something points. I thought defensively they were just, it was brutal how they stifled Michigan.
I saw a highlight of Madison Booker, and she was doing it on both ends of the court. Texas is really, really good, but there was a pull-up shot where she pulled up in the lane, and she's wearing number 35, which is Kevin Durant's number. And you couldn't help but get KD vibes watching her shoot the ball. I mean, it was just like, wow, and truthfully, I think Kevin Durant, in terms of college players of the last 25 years, he's right up there near the top. People could not stop him in college his 1 year in Austin. So,
done.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic Shaver's team's going pretty well, and good for them. I mean, the SEC is a an absolute just juggernaut in women's basketball. So, to come out of that, you're going to be tough, just because of the teams you have to play.
Is it Texas and South Carolina for the championship?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Dawn Staley's got her program. I mean, we talked about Danny Hurley and his, program, but man, I think everybody's chasing Dawn Staley right now. And we can remember when they were all chasing Geno and UConn, but I think South Carolina has supplanted them as sort of the team to beat.
Hey, take me back to this weekend, the Clyde Hart Classic. Kind of give me an overview of your thoughts on how the event went, and just kind of talk us through that a minute.
Yeah, it was a crazy weather day. I mean, we get a few of those in Central Texas. I started out the day wearing a quarter zip, and then I changed into a short sleeve polo after the sun came out for a while. Michael Ford, Baylor's track coach, was very happy that the weather sort of flipped in their favor, because if you're a track athlete, you want warmer temperatures. You don't like those cold temperatures. And at this point of the season, I think they're expecting, spring is here, man. Let's have some nice weather. So it was a good meet for Baylor. There were some good teams there. Arkansas was there. TCU was there. Some of their top ones didn't really run. They're still kind of early in the outdoor season. By the time they get to the Michael Johnson meet, which they have another home meet before the Michael Johnson meet, but the Baylor Invitational, which is just like a one-day Friday meet, that'll be fairly small. But by the time they get to the Michael Johnson meet, that's when they really want to be clicking. And, of course, they have Texas Relays this week. If you've never covered the Texas Relays, that's right up there with probably the UIL State meet as just one of the most fun track meets I've ever covered. Just the energy in the stadium. There's a buzz. But, yeah, Baylor had some good efforts in that Clyde Hart Classic. And they've got a young girl, freshman out of Nigeria. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, but her first name is Success. And I talked to her after the meet, and I asked her about her name. I mean, I said, and she ran well. She was on their winning 4x1 sprint relay team, and then she ran well she was the top collegiate finisher they had some pros at this meet too, in the 100. And I asked her about her name, and she said, Jerry Hill and I were standing there, and she said that her mom actually was going to name her Destiny. But then she was like, this is going to be a successful child, so I will name her Success. And she goes, and it's worked out for me. So anyway, she was delightful. And yeah, I think they've got some people that will score in the Big 12 and on the national level. So it should be a good track season for Michael Ford and his team.
Visiting with Brice Cherry, the Waco Tribune Herald. Brice, spring football, any surprises, anything coming out of spring football that viewers and listeners should know?
Surprises. I thought, it was interesting to hear Joe Klanderman talk about the defense, and as they install a new defense, he basically said, you've got to crawl before you walk, and we're crawling. Which I thought was pretty an honest assessment of maybe where they're at. And that's understandable when you're implementing a new scheme. They did just pick, I don't know if this is a surprise, but they did just pick up another transfer portal guy, offensive lineman yesterday. They've picked up quite a few, which they had to do since they were going to graduate 4 out of the 5 guys on that line. So I had a chance to talk to several reporters. Several of them went from Baylor football on Saturday over to the track meet. And I was like, okay, so tell me about Lagway, because I knew they were talking to Lagway that day. And Zach Smith did a story on him for us. And, everybody seems to be impressed with Lagway, both, what he's doing on the field and just his sort of maturity and his poise in like an interview setting. I think he's got, all the tools that you want, in a starting quarterback.
Visiting with Brice Cherry, the Waco Trib. Brice, you wrote an article about Glenn Moore, and I thought it was fascinating to talk a little bit about Glenn Moore and what Glenn Moore has meant to softball and what Glenn Moore has meant to Baylor.
Yeah, the tone of the article was just sort of, the column was just kind of about his consistency, his reliability, his loyalty. Obviously, he's been here, 25, 26 years now. And I mentioned that he's seen how many athletic directors come through? 3 at least. A lot of head football coaches. I mentioned that at the annual first pitch luncheon, he's taken jabs from Steve Smith, Steve Rodriguez, and Mitch Thompson. Baseball has had a few changes as well, and here Glenn is. He still keeps just trucking along like Old Man River. And I'm not calling out his age because he and I are in that same age bracket. In fact, he texted me the next day after the column came out and said, "Hey man, I'm just trying to keep up with you." And I thought that was a real nice thing to say. But obviously has done a fantastic job over the years. They've got another good team this year. The timing of the column, I mean, I guess you could criticize me on that. I can't predict, what they're going to do, but they went out to Arizona and of course they got swept. But still, that doesn't change what Glenn Moore has meant to Baylor. And like I said, to me, the reliability, they're going to be good year in and year out. His athletes are going to graduate. They're going to be like high character girls. They're never really in trouble. And his coaches stick around with him. Brittany Newman's been there forever. Hoot's been there a minute now, Coach Lumley was with him forever. I think he's just a guy you can count on.
And he's navigated all the changes. I mean, when you look at the transfer portal and you look at NIL, he's been able to kind of navigate through that. And a lot of people can't, but he's kind of figured out and put together a very competitive team again this year. And they got a big week this week.
Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely. They got a big series this week. And yeah, you're right. They're not getting $1 million pitchers like Texas Tech is. Sure, Glenn Moore would love to have them. He needs to, I guess, find a big money donor that can maybe get him $1 million pitcher. But they absolutely are piecing it together. Another thing I mentioned in the column was just that I have always appreciated the fact that he recruits Central Texas. And we know Central Texas softball is really, really good. We have teams at state every year, teams winning state every year. He's had players from Midway and Belton and Crawford and West and Robinson, and at the time I wrote the column, I haven't checked since then, but Kagan Marshall from Robinson, 4-time Super Centex player. She was leading them in home runs at the time as a freshman. So, he's done well recruiting this area, and it's not like Glenn's going to just limit himself to Central Texas, but we've seen it in other sports where, like Baylor football, for instance, has, let top guys from this area get away. And I mean, if you're a great softball player in Central Texas, Glenn Moore knows about you, and more often than not, he's going to get you on his team.
Brice, talk about what you guys got coming up in the Waco Trib. I know there's a lot of things going on. I know you guys will be all over Baylor baseball this weekend. They came off a great weekend at Houston and got a big weekend with BYU coming up. So talk about some of the things that you guys are covering as you move forward this week.
Yeah, so you mentioned spring football. Zach Smith's all over that. He also covers Baylor softball for us, so he'll be following the Bears there. Michael Haig is all over Baylor baseball, which has a series with BYU starting Thursday. And we're following high school soccer playoffs. We've got two Central Texas soccer teams still kicking, still alive and kicking.
Still kicking?
Yeah.
That's
what they.
You are on fire today.
There you go, man. This is what I do. Roll out of bed, think of headlines, baby. It's the Lorena boys and the La Vega boys. And for Lorena, this has been a historic season for Paul DeLeon and his team. They've never made it this far, and they're at the regional final level now. If they win, they go to the state semis. So they got a tough one tonight. They play Brookshire Royal, who's got like one loss. La Vega plays Navasota, which that one's going to be good too. So, yeah, got a couple soccer teams still left, and we'll be following, high school baseball and softball and all the things, all the things that are going on.
Brice, thanks. Appreciate your time as always. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Thanks, Tommy.
Brice Cherry, the Waco Tribune Herald, our guest. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk with the Temple baseball coach / athletic director, Craig McMurtry. We'll do that coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're brought to you in part by Benchmark Construction. David, the COO over there, does a great job. They specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. They do a terrific job supporting this community. One of the things that they do is they're a big supporter of the Hangar, which is a day shelter for the homeless, and they help out there. They're not looking for a pat on the back, but I wanted to give them one for doing things like that. You can contact Benchmark Construction. You can check them out at benchmarkc3.com. That's benchmarkc3.com. David and his team ready to talk with you about whatever the case may be. You may want a new build, or you may want to do some reconfiguration in your home, or you may have some issues that you need to take care of. They can certainly do that for you over at Benchmark. Benchmarkc3.com. Check them out and tell them we sent you by.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
Welcome back to the program on a Tuesday as we get ready for a big night. I got college baseball tonight. I got Baylor and Tarleton State, and that should be a lot of fun. We're speaking of college baseball. We're joined now by the head coach of Temple College and / athletic director, Craig McMurtry. Craig, thanks for your time, man. I really do appreciate it. I know this is a crazy time of the year for you.
Yes, it is a crazy time of the year, but it's also a fun time of the year for the guys, and hopefully it'll finish up as a fun time.
Talk about how do you navigate being the head coach and the athletic director this time of the year? I would imagine your time is thin.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've been fortunate since I've become the athletic director to have some people that really helped me out. Lana Jones was our athletic advisor as far as administrative assistant for 20-something years, and she took over a whole lot of the stuff that I had to do. And now DJ Bailey is our administrative assistant, academic advisor, and she takes a lot of stuff off of my plate during the spring. So really, I just try to coach baseball and sign stuff when they stick it in front of me.
Talk about your ball club. Lark and I were just talking a few minutes ago. I don't care what sport it is, and I don't care what year it is. This conference, this region, it's a dogfight every time, isn't it?
It's tough. It's really tough. We've got some really quality coaches and quality teams. It seems like every year in our conference, especially, you've got your guys like McLennan and Weatherford and Grayson, and then usually it's kind of the rest of the pack here the last few years. And then in our region, you've got Midland and Odessa and Howard and New Mexico and those guys. And really lately, New Mexico Military, they're all really good teams. They do a really good job. So if you can get out of, if you can make the playoffs in our conference, when you get to the region playoffs, it's really difficult. And the team that gets out of here and goes to the Junior College World Series has a really good chance to win it, or at least to be in the top 3 or 4.
I think if I'm not mistaken, your club's 8-4 in conference. Do you kind of like where you are right now?
Well, I'd rather be 12-0, but yeah, we lost a couple of games. I thought that we had a really good chance to win, but that's baseball. Ifs and buts were candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. But yeah, I mean, we've got some pitching that's doing okay. Our hitting is coming on. Defensively, I think we've been pretty solid. We have a really tough stretch coming up here, the last, 5 series of the season with some really good teams, and so it's going to be a matter of trying to find a way to get a little bit more consistent in all facets and see what happens. I mean, realistically, you need to win about 18 or 20 games in conference out of our 32 conference games to have a chance to make the playoffs. So right now we're at 8-4. We've got Grayson coming in tomorrow, and we go there Friday. I think they're leading the conference or tied for the lead. So these 4 games will be a good measuring stick to see where we're at.
Is that the way you like doing it? I mean, it's 2 at your place and 2 at third place, or vice versa. Does that work well in this conference?
I don't know. When I first started here in 1998, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, hang on a second. Are you the original head coach of Temple baseball?
Well, they had baseball here back in the 70s.
Okay.
And then they shut the program down, I think, in like 76, 77, and then we brought it back in 98. So I've been here since 98.
Yeah, so in the modern, you okay.
Yeah, I'm the guy. Good or bad, I'm the guy. So, yeah, in 98 when we started this, it was 2 halves. You played, the first half at somebody's place, and then the second half of the conference you changed sites. And that was pretty good. One of the coaches at one of the meetings said, hey, I'm voting on all conference pitchers that I've never seen, because every time we play so-and-so, they throw their number 1 and 2. They fix it so, we're seeing their best pitchers. So I don't even know who these other guys are. So they decided to change it up and play, 4 games in 1 week against the same opponent. Doesn't really matter. I mean, if you've got a good pitching staff, either way is going to work for you. If you struggle, if you only have a handful of starters or good relievers, then you can kind of work it where you're pitching for better guys against the better teams. So either way.
Greg, before you started there at Temple, of course, you had a Major League Baseball career. Tell us a little bit about, number one, getting drafted by the Braves and the process it took to get up to the big league club.
Well, I was really fortunate to, spent a couple of years at McLennan with Coach Butler and Coach Kilgo, and we had a really good team and put up some big numbers as a team. And I was fortunate enough to put up some big numbers on the mound, and had an opportunity to go out to Kansas and play after my freshman year at McLennan. And we won the NBC, the national championship there. And I think that was where things kind of started rolling as far as getting some exposure. Got drafted by the Braves, decided to go ahead and play. I had some opportunities to go play at some D1s. I didn't really know if that's what I wanted to do. Kind of talked myself into going ahead and getting into their organization. Spent a couple years in the minor leagues, half a season in AA, a full season in AA, a full season in AAA, where we won the championship in the Southern League and the International League in those 2 years. And went to spring training in '83, and was fortunate. I remember Joe Torre called me into his office. I thought I was getting cut or sitting down to the minor leagues, and he was sitting there with a big cigar in his mouth had Joe Torre and Bob Gibson, and sitting there, and Torre kind of looked at me and goes, "Hey, Mac, just letting you know, you had a pretty good spring and stuff, and we're going to take you with us to Atlanta." And he thought that was funny. I thought it wasn't funny the way he did it, but ended up having a really good rookie year, won 15 games, and then kind of struggled the next 2 or 3 years, got traded to the Blue Jays, spent a year in their organization, went free agent, went to the Rangers for 3 years, had a really good time there, had a couple of good years there, and then they released me. I signed back with them and went to AAA, and then they called me back up, so they released me twice, which is fun. And then kicked around the minor leagues for a while, and then ended up with the Astros in '95 at the end of the season, and coached a couple of years with the Astros in the minor leagues, and decided I needed to be back home and help my wife raise 3 kids and be more present. So fortunate enough to get the job here. The year I stopped coaching with the Astros, they started baseball, and got it, been here, and it's been a fun ride so far.
Those years with the Braves, those were some pretty good ball clubs. I think there was the pitching staff included Tom Glavine and some of those guys. How much did you glean from the guys in the bullpen in that particular ball club?
Well, honestly, the Braves teams I played for were before Glavine and Smoltz and all of those guys. People have asked me, "Oh, did you play with the Braves when they were really good?" And I said, "No, after I left the Braves, they got really good." And then they also asked about the Rangers. "Oh, you played with the Rangers, the World Series?" And I said, "No, when I left the Rangers, they got a whole lot better." And so, no, I was there with Steve Bedrosian and Rick Camp and Tommy Boggs and Gene Garber, the Mad Hungarian, Al Raboski, Murphy, Horner, Chambliss, Hubbard, all of those guys. So I think it was a learning experience, just the fact that a lot of those guys were veterans. And when you play with somebody like Dale Murphy, who was, a class guy, you learn a lot just about how to handle yourself and about the game of baseball and respect for the game. Kind of the same thing in Arlington when you play with guys like Nolan and Charlie Huff and some of the guys that were there when I played with the Rangers. It's just a different mindset, I think, than it is now as far as the way the game has changed. You guys know the game's changed a lot, just the way guys handle themselves and what was accepted, not accepted back then. Some of the things that go on now in the big leagues with
somebody beat their chest, going around the bases after a hit that was probably not real acceptable back in your day?
Yeah, well, some of those guys nowadays, Nolan would already have their heads off with a tennis ball. So, yeah, it was a different era. I mean, we had a game in Atlanta where the Rafael Ramirez, our shortstop, got taken out, and he was probably at least 6 or 7 feet from second base towards right field, coming across on a double play. And nowadays, if you even go 2 feet one side of the bag or the other, I mean, it's you're ejected or something. I don't know. it's a crazy game. You can't pitch inside anymore. Guys get their feelings hurt. It's just weird. And so different era, but it was a lot of fun back then. And I think now the game is still good. I actually really like the pitch clock. I think yep. I wish they'd incorporated in high school, because I go to some high school games. It's like watching paint dry.
I saw you the other day. It was your son's team was playing the other day, and I saw you there. And that game was about 3 days. It felt like.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it at first, but I think the game really moves at our level. Guys don't take too much time. It's as long as you're not rushing yourself, I think it's a good thing, because it keeps the game moving and keeps a good pace going, and hopefully keeps the umpires engaged too, so that they don't stink at all the calls.
Yeah. What about replay and ABS and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think the replay's been good. I think it's something where you want the call to be right. I mean, obviously, you want the call to be right in big situations, especially. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to the ABS stuff. I saw a couple things the last couple of days where, batters are tapping their helmet as soon as it happens, and pitchers are tapping their helmets. And I'd have wore my head out tapping my helmet or whatever when I was pitching, because you always think the umpire's wrong.
Yeah,
as a pitcher and as a hitter.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how good some of these guys are as far as the hitters knowing the strike zone. And knowing when it's off a little bit. So hopefully they tweak it a little bit and figure some stuff out. But as long as the game doesn't slow down, just make sure you get the call right.
I want to go back to the Braves just a second. Can you explain to me why Dale Murphy is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
I have no clue. I mean, the guy was amazing back then, as far as, the numbers he put up, and just the defensively, he had a cannon. He ran stuff down in center field. He was, he was the guy that you wanted out there, and I think any team would have wanted him out there, especially with the numbers that he put up at the plate. And, probably not factored in when you talk about Hall of Fame stuff, but what a guy. I mean, he was your prototypical professional athlete. I mean, the way he handled himself off the field, the things he did on the field. So, yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Hey, Coach, I know you got to get across campus for a meeting. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being with us. I mean, let's do this again. Let's do this again. This is fun. I mean, we can sit here and do this all day.
Well, that's on you. Give me a call.
We'll do it, Coach. Thanks. Hey, have a great day. Appreciate it, and good luck.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Lark.
See you later. Is that not fun?
Oh yeah, that's always a good time.
I mean, I envision this happening one day in the summer when there's not as much going on, and we'll just turn the stage over to him and say, tell stories.
Yeah, it's always a good time to just sit and talk to Craig, because I've known him ever since he was at McLennan back in the early '80s on that first team that ever went to the JUCO World Series. And just always a pleasure to talk to.
Yeah. And again, I didn't realize that they had baseball in the 70s at Temple, but I knew that he put the thing back going. And if I'm not mistaken, they played in an early season tournament. Maybe the first weekend there was a tournament at McLennan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they were going to play McLennan, but I think that early in that first season that they came to a tournament at McLennan. It may have been the first game ever. And I was umpiring in that tournament. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I do remember that Temple had baseball prior to this most modern whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the only reason I remember this because Manuel Ordonez went over there and played.
Did he? Manny went over there. I did not know that.
Yeah, Manny played at Temple right out of high school.
There you go. The things you learn on this program.
Yeah.
Hey, we're brought to you in part by our good friends at Toe King. And again, Toe King does a great job. We talk about it all the time. 24-hour emergency roadside service, locally owned and family operated. Gary Hoffman and his team do a terrific job. Here's the phone number for you to store in your telephone. So, if you get into a situation where you need some roadside assistance, they'll take great care of you. It's 254-666-5484, 254-666-5484. And there's more coming up in just a moment. Since 1996, Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers at 18th and Herring has been serving Waco's best burger. There's nothing better than a delicious burger cooked just the way you like it, with garden fresh toppings on a buttered bun. Add tots, fries, curly fries, or onion rings for a perfect meal. So what are you waiting on? How about Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers today? Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. And don't forget to ask about Double R's catering. Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over. Family owned and operated, Jasper's Barbecue is serving up Texas-style barbecue meats and sandwiches and all the fixins. Enjoy mouth-watering brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and don't forget the potato salad and barbecue beans. Located in Waco on Elm Street, right off of I-35, open Tuesday through Saturday 10 until 2 or until the food runs out. Stop by today and enjoy the best barbecue around. Voted one of the best barbecue joints by Texas Monthly. That's Jasper's Barbecue in Waco. You won't leave hungry.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycats mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
And welcome back into the program. We are brought to you in part by our good friends Jace and Katie Embry with JK Roofing. They do a terrific job, whether it's shingles or a metal roof, whether it's re-roofing or just doing a little work. Maybe you had a couple of shingles blow off and you need some help. They'll take great care of you. Maybe you don't know if you need a new roof. Maybe you need somebody to come out and just give you a quick estimate and talk you through it. You may have a year left on your roof. You may need one right this very minute. JK Roof will help you with all of that. jkroof.com, jkroofs.com, 254-744-2211. That's 254-744-2211. All right, got a quick note here, Lark, as we get ready to cover some of the other things going on. We were talking to Brice Cherry earlier about spring football. Well, a release came out from our good friend Brent Ingram over at Baylor. Yeah, they're going to hold a huge fan fest coming up April the 25th. Mark your calendar for April the 25th at the stadium. The event will kick off around 10 a.m. in the South Plaza. There's going to be a barbecue cook-off. There's going to be cornhole contest. There's going to be things for the kiddos to compete in. At noon, John Morse, our colleague, John Morse here at Rogue Media, he's going to be on stage, and he'll have select football players. And Doug McNamee is putting all this together. He'll be there. And they're going to have just a great day of Baylor football. Then they're going to have, I believe, a 7-on-7 kind of an inter-squad scrimmage going on inside the stadium. They're going to have the draft up on the video board. So it's going to be a big day. And one of the things I know that they're striving to do since Doug is returned to Baylor is make it a little more interactive with the fans, make tailgating a big part of the event, make it an event. Sure. More so than what it probably was before. So that this is one of the pieces that goes to that. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll talk more about it as we get closer. But April the 25th, it's going to be the inaugural Baylor Fan Fest presented by McLean Children's, and that'll be Saturday the 25th. So keep that in mind. All right, a lot of things going on. We got baseball tonight. We got softball tonight. You've got a softball game. So there's a lot of things on the docket tonight.
Certainly is on the docket. There's also we got basketball going on in Division I. But also the junior colleges are crowning their champions, and the junior college men's Division I champion is from the state of Texas, Howard, from the same region as McLennan plays in Region 5.
They're in the West.
They're in the western part
Gotcha.
of that region. So Howard defeated Southern Idaho 82-67 in the men's championship game. The women's championship game is going to be tonight. In the semifinals last night, New Mexico and Clarendon, 2 teams from Region 5.
They circled back around to play each other?
Yeah.
How about that?
In the semifinals, and New Mexico won that one 58-53. And Trinity Valley from Texas, from Region 14 in Texas, they lost in the semifinals last night to Eastern Arizona. So the championship game on the women's side is New Mexico versus Eastern Arizona, and that's tonight. And I can't even tell you where they're playing that.
Well, good luck to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to them. All right. Brice mentioned about high school soccer.
Right.
A couple of teams from the Central Texas area still playing high school soccer, La Vega and Lorena. La Vega taking on Navasota tonight. That's in Hearn, a 7 o'clock kickoff there. Lorena is taking on Brookshire Royal. That's in Bryan at Merrill Green Stadium. We've been there a few times.
Couple.
7 o'clock is the start for that game on Tuesday. Today. Get it right, Lark. Let's see. I got high school softball tonight. The Midway Panthers are at home against Shoemaker. Waco High and University are playing each other.
Oh, that's always fun.
That's always fun. You've also got La Vega hosting Conley. Lorena's at China Spring. Robinson at Gatesville. Clifton hosting McGregor. And Bosqueville is at home against West. Over on the baseball side, University is hosting Belton tonight, while you have La Vega and Conley tangling with each other at Conley. Lorena is at China Spring. McGregor visits Clifton. Moody at home against Aquila. And Crawford is hosting Oglesby. So that's what's going on in high school baseball.
Hey, and I think Robinson's tangling with Gatesville.
Well,
and that'll be a good one.
Yeah, I didn't find that one on the schedule, but that's a high probability.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I find out just a few moments ago I'm going to Hillsboro for a junior college softball doubleheader between Hill and Vernon.
Well, there you go.
Get underway at 1 o'clock. So
put that on your schedule.
Yeah, put that on the schedule. I'm busy.
All right, there you go. That's some of the things happening. Hey, we're brought to you in part by Lake Waco Golf Club. It's a semi-private facility over on the north side of the lake. You'll love it. I mean, we were out there the other day, and with spring coming, I mean, it's just nice. They've got all kinds of things for you to do. If you're a member, you can take part in the swimming pool, which I think is getting ready to open. They've got fishing for you if you want to do that. Of course, they've got an 18-hole golf course. They've got a par 3 golf course. They've got a terrific new. I say it's new, but it's maybe new to you. But they got a clubhouse and then the bar and grill and all kinds of cool things going on. You ought to check them out. You can check them out at wacogc.com. That's lakewacogc.com rather, lakewacogc.com. And if you need a tee time, call them. 254-756-2161. 254-756-2161. It's Lake Waco Golf Club. And we're back with more in just a moment.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
Back on the program here for a Tuesday, and many thanks to our good friends over at Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. That's 18th and Herring. Open Monday through Friday from 10 until 4:30, Saturday 10 until 2, serving the best burger in town. And I'm telling you, it is off the hook. Okay, don't ask me. Lark?
I second that emotion.
Okay, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. 18th and Herring. Great. And I'm going to tell you right now, because they tell me I got to tell you, but because they serve grilled chicken sandwiches and they serve chicken fried steak sandwiches. I'm getting that on the list here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going there, get a burger. Get a burger. 18th and Herring.
Yeah,
open Monday.
You can try that other stuff later, but if it's your first time, get the burger.
Yeah, it's the burger.
Yeah.
It's the burger. 18th
Absolutely.
and Herring, Monday through Friday, 10 until 4:30, Saturday 10 until 2. They also do catering. You got an event coming up and you want to get something catered, and it doesn't have to be a burger. They can be anything you want. Perry and Dave will take great care of you. That's Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. All right. Many thanks to Brice Cherry and to Craig McMurtry for being on the program. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to visit with the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way. He's got a Final Four to call as the Texas women advance to the championship. Talk to him about that. And he's also the voice of the UIL. We'll get into a lot of that as well. And we'll also talk Cowboy football. We'll do that with Kyle Yeomans, who, Kyle's highly successful. It's kind of cool to see what he's been able to accomplish working with the Cowboys, working with ESPN Plus and some other organizations. And he's a graduate from Crosstown over at Midway High School. So we'll talk to Kyle Yeomans, and that'll be coming up on the program tomorrow. A lot of fun today. We'll do it again tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can catch us at 10 a.m. live on Facebook or on YouTube, or you can catch us anywhere you get your podcast. You can do that as well. So thanks for checking us out. If you haven't subscribed to the program, please do so. We certainly would appreciate it. So for Lark, I'm Tom. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and have yourself a great day.